What's up, guys? This is going to be a reading. I'm tempted to say all signs. I guess it can be all signs. Cancerian fourth house astrology. If you're a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, feel free to apply. But all signs as well, since we all have fourth house astrology at birth. If you're a person. Then you have a fourth house, regardless of if there were planets in it at your time of birth. So that being said, feel free to sit back and enjoy this reading. We're going to be pulling cards on some of the key words that are in regard to this fourth house that I'm looking at this particular natal chart. Again, it's just a standard generic universal astrological natal chart, or astrological chart, I should say. Houses 1 through 12. And yeah, we're just gonna get a vibe. So this is gonna resonate for any of you who are watching this video. Feel free to incorporate this. And obviously, if it resonates, stick around and watch the whole way through. Your viewership is appreciated. If you would like a one-on-one reading, feel free to reach out. Website link below. All my info is in the description box below. All my social media links, all my contact info. Like, share, follow, subscribe on the YouTube page and everywhere else if possible. It's greatly appreciated. Also, send me some feedback. Let me know what you would like to see on this channel, and what you would like to see some readings for. I'm working on love and money as well. I'm working on these houses for all of the signs, so that's a big project there. Because we're going to do all the signs and all the houses, and they're going to be timeless stamped. So there should be at least one gem or so that can be applied universally. For any of the viewers, regardless of where the planets are. Hence all signs for this reading and all the other ones. What else can I say? Check out Instagram, TikTok. I also upload that 30-second content on YouTube as well. I try to record original content for TikTok and YouTube. So if you're interested, just putting that information out there, check out those social medias as well. Everything is Run and Gun Tarot across all social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. So let's jump into it. Spirit of gratitude, joy, love, and light. Again, fourth house Cancerian. We're looking at some of the keywords that all of the keywords that we're flipping for, starting from top to bottom on this chart. It's a cool little chart. It's just a circular chart with numbers 1 through 12 on the inside, and then on the outside, in each of the sections, just some keywords that particular astrological house pertains to. So, for instance, astrological sign Cancer rules over the fourth house. Some of these keywords are home, roots, family, self-care, emotions, foundations, mother, children, women, and femininity. Interesting to note, it's across the street neighbor, so to speak, is 10th house, which is masculinity, men, fathers, experts, fame, public image, status, reputation. I actually already recorded a video for that. 10th house 10th house Capricorn. It's already uploaded on the channel. So check that out. But let's jump into it. Spirit of gratitude, or love and light, highest possible messages. Let's get a card for home. First and foremost, 3 of Wands in the upright. So you can be relocating homes here. There's an opportunity on the table, a blessing or a gift to come with this golden background. This is either read as your ships coming in, your blessings coming in, or coming into port, coming into dock, or you going to new horizons, hence the kind of relocation nature of this card. A very creative, fun, positive energy here, this 3 of Wands. This is Aries energy. I should note, I don't recall which decan it is. Typically, each tarot card is a zodiac is a planet in a particular zodiac sign. So actually, I could probably pull it up for you, and I could tell you what it is. And the decans themselves will, like the houses and such, will kind of talk about the characteristics that imbue the tarot card. This is how tarot and astrology are related. So, for instance, this would be third decan. This is the Sun in Aries. Okay. Some people use an old version versus a modern version. I think so. It's a limited planets that are incorporated, versus like the old world system versus the new world system. But check that out. Type in astrological decans in Google or whatever search engine you use, and you'll see what I'm referring to. And you'll see that all the suits of the tarot, coins, pentacles, cups, wands, are kind of related with the signs and the planets and all that good stuff. So let's see what else wants to come out here. Typically that's I'm just looking at if there are older and newer versions here. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of straightforward. I guess I could use this one. Some of them are more cluttered than not, and they actually incorporate the degrees and all these other information, so these are kind of worth looking at on my own time. Sorry, I don't mean to drag you through this, but for the time being, I'll just look at this one since it's colorful and it's interesting looking, if it lets me. Just trying to get a good image of it. Okay. So yeah, pull up astrological decans, and then click on the images in the search engine, and you'll see what's going on here. But for all intents and purposes, this is Sun in Aries energy here. That is actually March 31st through April 10th. That it's actually a portion of the season of Aries. I believe degrees 10 through 20 in the Aries cardinal sign. So Aries has to do with action and travel and identity and self. So this could be where you are kind of seeing yourself, travel, and even seeing your rewards coming in for you. Again, this pertains to the house, or excuse me, the home in particular, as that was the first word that we're pulling this card for. So the next word is roots. Let's see what wants to come out for roots. We got the Two of Pentacles in the upright. This is about balance, stability. I believe this is Capricorn energy. Let's see what it is. It is, let's find the decan. This is, I believe it's Jupiter in Capricorn. Okay. Let's see. Just trying to get my alchemical symbols right. Yeah, this is Jupiter. The 2 and the 4 is Jupiter. So this is Capricorn and Jupiter. Jupiter is about luck, abundance, expansion. That comes by way of Capricorn, a long concerted effort over a long amount of time, I should say. We mentioned Capricorn has to do with, or the 10th house that it rules over has to do with recognition, which you're known for. So, your success will come about by some consistency. It might be in your, again, this is for roots. So you might be inheriting something that you're trying to keep up. Maybe, pentacles here are the virtues and values that you will be known for, maybe that you've been passed down, that you've inherited generationally, that you're keeping up, and you might be, for all intents and purposes, you're going to find great luck in this department because it's something that you were kind of born and bred to upkeep and uphold here with the Two of Pentacles in the upright. Let's see what else we can look at. The next word is family. Again, all things home, emotional security. That's what the fourth house Cancerian energy represents. Mother, maternal. So, it makes sense that we're pulling for words like home, roots, family. Roots meaning your family roots, your genetic roots. Ten of Wands came out for family. So putting down a burden, maybe baggage that you've been carrying here. Tens are about completions of cycles, moving to a new phase of understanding as well here. Let's see, in regards to the Ten of Wands, we are looking at, I know this is Sagittarius energy, so I could quickly go to the Sagittarius section and then see where the 10th decan is. So this has to do with December 13th to the 21st, 10th decan, Sagittarius. This is degrees 20 through 30. This is Saturn energy. So this is the planet Saturn in Sagittarius. That's what this represents. Okay. Saturn is about discipline, lessons, restrictions. You're not going to be able to carry it all through life. You're going to have to put it down at some point. Sagittarius is a philosophical kind of seeker by heart and nature. All things religion, law, cross-culturalism. But in this context, this is having to do with family. So putting something down that's been kind of limiting you to a certain extent here. Let's take a look at Saturns are about lessons and limitations here. So you might have you might be finding that you're learning lessons about the baggage of family history or actions. Wands represent actions here, but again, obligations or responsibilities even that you need to put down. And it's funny enough that when you kind of put these down, it frees you up to a reduced level 3 of Wands, and you can focus more so on yourself, on the independence here that is powered by Aries, and the expression of the sun, its golden background, the identity of self here. Okay, you're still going to hold on to the virtues and the values, but now you can really kind of cook on what's been kind of super condensed down from the baggage to the real value. So you're discarding what no longer serves you from your family, but you're keeping the virtues and the values alive, the higher virtues and vibrations alive, so to speak. So for self-care, we have, self-care is the next word. We have the Ten of Cups. This is happiness, harmony. This is Pisces. Let's see what planet in Pisces. We have... this is Mars in Pisces. So Mars is about action and motivation. This is expressed through Pisces, meaning, Pisces is like a world reality creating energy. I always understand it as. They can whip things up into a frenzy. They're powered by Neptune. Neptune is hopes and fantasies. So this is dreaming a high dream. This is dreaming of paradise. And this is having done the work from the motivation to create this external paradise. Happiness and harmony in family and relationship. But for the sake of self-care, meaning, this harmony first started within. And so as to kind of make sure that it's reflected in your environment, so it's a constant reminder of the harmony within yourself that you're trying to upkeep here. Pisces has to do with endings, healing, closure, spirituality, solitude, karma, old age, afterlife, what's hidden, limiting beliefs, the subconscious. So again, if you want to, touch on what are some of the limiting beliefs or roadblocks that you have here, do you think that you could juggle this happiness while still pertaining to your responsibilities? self-care maybe one of the priorities that you've put first and foremost that maybe your family didn't prioritize. Maybe your family is known for working their butts off, but not necessarily prioritizing happiness and harmony. So there's a lot of connections that we could have here. But ultimately, it's going to be a form of self-care to have this kind of paradisal, heavenly vision for yourself. But know first and foremost that comes from within, right? You can't have hell within and discord and lack of harmony and sadness in and expect it to be outside of yourself in your environment, because you're essentially going to be the generator, the power of your environment. Okay, that's why perception is reality. That's why what you give your attention to is so important. So make sure that you're giving your attention to, love and happiness and going with the flow and like these higher, gratitude, confidence, courage, these higher values and virtues here, okay, that have been distilled from your upbringing, and discard the toxicity and everything else, okay, that doesn't serve this vision. Okay, so let's try to run through this. We have emotions, foundations, mother, children, women, femininity. So that's a doozy. Let's try to see here. We have, I don't have a pen to use as a pointer, but we have here the Page of Swords for, I guess I'll just use my finger, old school. We have the Page of Swords here for emotions right here. This is actually emotions, emotional foundations. So we have the Page of Swords in the Tower in the reverse. I don't know that there's decons for anything that's not a 1 through 10 card. Let's see, decans for court cards. Bear with me here as I try to look for the court cards. Oh yeah, I guess they are. Okay, yeah, so it makes sense. I'm actually versed in this. So, well, beyond the pages, I don't know if the pages are... They got princes here, they got knights. Okay, so their kind of interpretation of this is, bear with me here, I'm just looking at their interpretation of anything that's not 1 through 10 is... Let me see. The Prince of Swords. So that would be what we're looking at. This has to do with Swords and Ace of Swords. So these people, what I'm looking at right now is, on this image in particular, it's a little confusing because they have they have princesses, knights, princes. I'm not sure how they're, because I know there's page, knights. I'm not sure how they're breaking it down here. Oh, maybe they're equating that to aces. And their kind of little wheel here. In any event, so the Page of Swords here has to deal with, let's see. This is not the most reader-friendly wheel. Prince of Swords has to do with Aquarius energy. It covers 4, 5, and 6 decans. of Aquarius, and the Four of Capricorn. So we're talking about, this is the Sun, this is Venus, and this is Mercury. Okay, so this is the Sun, Venus, and Mercury here, in Capricorn and partially Aquarius here, the Page of Swords, aka the Prince of Swords. That's what we're looking at here. Which is interesting. Oh, and I guess the Princess. Okay, so yeah, Princess in tarot is equivalent to the aces, I guess. In any event, so this is Capricorn Aquarius energy, similar to the King, I would say. Let's see what the chart says. King of Swords. Oh wow, this chart is saying Taurus Gemini for King of Swords. I usually read the King of Swords as Capricorn Aquarius, but this chart is saying otherwise. Knight of Swords, Cups, Prince of Swords is read as Capricorn Aquarius. On this chart, the Knight of Swords is Taurus Gemini. Okay, that makes sense. But then where's the King of Swords? Queen of Swords, Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups. Oh, so I guess this one doesn't have any kings? That's weird. They got rid of the kings and they got princesses. That's very odd. Okay, anyways, so the point being is that typically I read this as any of the air signs. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. This chart has it so that this represents a little bit of Capricorn, a little bit of Aquarius. So it reads this similar to how I read the King of Swords, Capricorn Aquarius energy. In any event, so the Page of Swords is out here for, and thank you so much for bearing with me for still watching this video. The Page of Swords came out for emotions. So this is challenging energy, young, youthful, novice energy that could have a bone to pick with you, or you could be this person. It also, on the positive light, represents a student gaining and learning information. This is a challenging energy. This is a roadblock, obstacle, objectionable energy here. As in, like, objection, Your Honor, I have a bone to pick with you. This is for emotions here. So, you know, you could find yourself in any one of those, you know, and I guess the emotional foundation, because it's kind of a combo word. There's no comma here. It just says emotions, foundations, and there's no comma to, you know, decipher in between the two words. So you could read it as emotional foundations. In any event, the Tower in the reverse is disaster averted. It's Mars and Scorpio energy. It's zigging and zagging right at the nick of time to avoid disaster. So, I mean, sometimes it's feeling like you're on pins and needles. So maybe those are typically where you come from. Maybe those are your, emotional underpinnings, where it's like constantly trying to avoid disaster and having to fight for something. You know, with the Page of Swords here. Having to swing your sword to knock down emotion. The negative aspect of that is that your thinking ends up becoming your master and thus blocking your heart space from true vulnerability and true love expression. The Four of Wands is in reverse for the mother energy. I believe this is Mars and Venus or something of that nature. Yeah, this is, Venus and Aries here, the expression. This is the 11th through the 20th. This is your birthday card, essentially. If you were born between April 11th to the 20th. Let's see here. Let's see here. It's like it could be read as the ending of a public celebration. It could be ending as a falling out, a divorce energy. Maybe you're going through some sort of spat with your mom figure. You're trying to kind of put down the baggage that you may have with her. You don't want to keep your resentment up. I mean, I see, your defenses up here as well. The Seven of Wands. That's for children energy. So, you might be guarded or overly protective of children, or maybe not wanting to have anything to do with children. It depends on where you're coming from, obviously. But this is this is Mars in Leo. So it's kind of interesting because Leo has to do with childlike spirit and drama and joy and expressiveness and play, and I often characterize it as like rest and relaxation. But this is this is Mars in Leo. So this is like making sure that you have like the high ground. It's like the teenager playing with the grade school kids, and he's beating them off with a bat. He's beating them back because he's so much stronger than them and bigger than them, so he could kind of like bully them with on the basketball court or whatever. But maybe you've had some experience with being bullied. I hope that you don't bully children, or that you're not too hard on them. But this is kind of having that leverage over children if you have children yourself. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of interpretations this could go. But just, again, keep in mind, take it with a grain of salt. It's a general reading. I got the Nine of Cups in reverse for women. So this could be an emotional crutch. Maybe you rely on women. Maybe you use women, not to just put the negative interpretation out there, but maybe you rely on, if you're a male, and maybe you negatively express your masculinity by seeking a lot of women, or maybe having had a lot of encounters with women to try to affirm your masculinity. That's sometimes a thing for people. Nine of Cups in the reverse is an emotional crutch on women here. This represents, just for giggles here, Nine of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces. So, but it's in the reverse, so it's the negative expression of Jupiter. It's almost as if you're having too much, free will around women, or too much, not enough boundaries, probably, with the women in your life, possibly. So try to cut them a break, try to set up healthy boundaries here. It might be why you have an aversion to children or having kids here. Okay, because you're the baby, you're the big baby of the house. It could be man or woman though. Some women don't want to have children. 10 of Pentacles in the upright is femininity in general, Virgo energy. 10 is the best card for finances, cornerstones, family foundations. This is Mercury in Virgo. So Mercury is actually, as above, so below, the ruling planet of Virgo. The magician's modus operandi, being able to manifest the ideal into the physical material realm. Mercury is about communication. It's also about, I believe, third house, siblings, social activity, social interests, neighbors, early education, the mind, thinking, communication. So, having used all those elements, the thinking mind, the organized aspect of Virgo, to establish this long-term legacy here with the Ten of Pentacles, heavily to do with femininity. So you could come from a matriarchy where the woman is the breadwinner and the runner and the leader of the show, and that might be a tradition that you're trying to upkeep here, or that you may have been born into. For this Ten of Cups, I think of happy wife, happy life. That old expression that some adhere to. I'm a proponent in the belief that you got to come from happiness within, no matter who else you're with, and they have to be in charge and responsible for their own happiness here as well, and you're both to meet in the middle with so as to share your happiness. So that's something to keep in mind. Granted, if one person is stuck in the relationship, chances are it sets the tone and the rhythm for that same stuckness in the other person of the relationship, and so it becomes two mirrors reflecting stuckness. So make sure that as opposed to stuckness, and stuckness is just an example, it could be wanting to know everything, being very particular, wanting to kind of drill down and be somewhat of an interrogator or investigator. But Two of Pentacles also suggests going with the flow here, and making sure to trust and know that you don't need to know everything necessarily. You don't need to have a tight vice grip on every little point of a moment of a situation. As long as you have this bigger picture in mind here. For the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups to come out here, this is very rare. It's nothing to sneeze at. It's your emotional comfort and security. And again, if you are in a relationship, a lot of those tires are going to get kicked. So try to have that self-awareness. Try to be mindful where you're being kind of OCD, obsessive compulsive, maybe too much of a strict agent or a drill sergeant. I do feel that if you're watching this still, there is this kind of success due to you, inevitably on the bigger trajectory of things. But, obviously being self-aware and seeing where you're giving away negatively some of your attention and energy. This reading kind of speaks more so to going with the flow, sticking to the old 1-2 punch, and trusting that your opportunity will come here. We're ending cycles and burdens and baggages and ways of looking at significant others, and even this new family that you're if you're starting a new family, putting down burdens of the past so as to receive all of these beautiful blessings here. Interesting to note, Nine of Cups in the reverse. The venture would be to move to the Nine of Cups in the upright, which is emotional independence and strength, being able to let go with the flow, have your own business and affairs to tend to, not necessarily having to be so up your partner's butt with a fine-tooth comb. That leads to this harmony and happiness. You could let go a little bit. You could go with the flow a little bit. You could put down the work and the burden of having to be kind of OCD, always trying to have objection to something, things of this nature, because really truly it's just a crutch is what I'm seeing here. So I think that you're on the right path if your awareness is at this level of you still watching this reading here. And holler for a one-on-one reading. And this was very educational. I think this is the first time I incorporated decans. I've been meaning to do that as well, so it's very cool to see my reading style evolve in front of you. So that being said, love you guys. Thank you so much if you're watching still. I know this took a large part of your time. 34 minutes is not easy to sit through. like, share, follow, leave a comment, reach out for a one-on-one reading, and love and light to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.